Hopefully that was not my computer making that sound.
No,
Hey
that was mine. That
everyone.
was me. The little
That
beep
was
beep
you.
beeps.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, welcome back. My name is Frankie. I'm here with the Inspector Reacts, and we're here to talk about Miss Marvel.
Miss Marvel. A new superhero to
Yes.
the MCU.
Uh, let's see. MXC and Lucifer. Hello, how are you? You feed on frustration. Well, I got a ton for you today. um,
Oh,
so I watched Miss Marvel late-ish. I know it was out like I think a few months earlier, I believe.
yeah, it was out for a couple of months ago and ended like in July. So we're a little late to this, but um, makes it busy.
Yeah. Um, but I knew nothing about it going into it. I did not watch the trailer, so I loved it. um,
Yeah, I. It's one of those things. It's like this show was not on my hype list,
mm-hmm.
yet it's probably the one I probably enjoyed the most. Of same, it's like same thing with Hawkeye. It's like this got a sweet, adorable little hero who's on the up and up,
Mm-hmm.
ready to join our Avengers.
Yeah, with each show, I say like, oh, this one's my favorite. Oh no, this one's my favorite. Oh no, this one's my favorite, and like they just keep getting better. But
Yeah,
I loved this one.
yeah,
Um, I really enjoyed learning about their culture. Kamala
yeah. This is a
is.
very, very good. Um, this is a good, I think, show to kind of give people who probably aren't well versed in the culture to kind of give them a window or a doorway into this lifestyle or something, or the life that these people have lived,
Mm-hmm.
um, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Which,
Um, Kamala is. Well, those of you who watch it know Kamala is Muslim. Her family is from Pakistan.
yeah,
But they talked about um, the partition.
partition.
Um,
Yeah,
about the. I pulled up an article. I'd have to pull it up because I know I won't.
the migration of Muslim culture out of, I think it was India. Okay,
India
I
to
will
yeah.
say this is actually something I really appreciated because this is something I will admit I was not educated in or like knew anything about,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, oh, this show made me want to go. I want to like learn about this. I want to like go figure out like what the heck happened, like what led to this point for all of this to happen back in history or something like this was I mean it's a terrible time. It's one of those things where it's just like I'm glad this show like gave me something that I didn't know existed back then. Like it was not my history was not educating me on other people's histories or something like that. So it was nice to actually get this window into it and go like, okay, I need to learn more about that.
That's exactly how I felt, and like I mean, I think we know now as adults that so much of what we learned in history, like so much was left out, and
Yeah,
is told from a certain perspective. Not
yeah,
all sides are told. Not every perspective is shared, and it's not everything is what we thought it was. And this was one of
yeah.
those things that maybe it was mentioned in my one of my history classes, but if it was like a and this happened, and then on to the
Yeah,
next. It
it's not
wasn't
a
really discussed.
yeah.
But it was
Um,
heartbreaking.
Yeah.
You know.
Whereas like for these people, it's like they as they said, like almost everyone in their family has a story related to this because they all come from probably this event in their history and time. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like it's like 1942, which is not that just like 80 years ago. It's not that it's
Yeah.
like back in World War II basically. And I was like again, yeah, it was like something I did not know about, and I'm yeah, I like again, I don't know anything because I haven't like gone to study it, but I want to. Like I'm gonna go like look at it as soon as I can.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
but yeah, and again,
That's
go
right.
ahead.
But so yeah, this is very much a part of their culture, their history, because
Mhm.
their ancestors lived through this, and that trauma. I read an article with I believe the creator of the show was talking about it, how the families are still dealing with this. That trauma is passed on, um,
Yeah.
and they were trying to show that with Kamala kind of going back in time and
Yeah.
witnessing what happened at the train station, um, experiencing that herself, and um, so yeah,
Yeah.
it was very educational, and I was it was nice to learn of
Yeah.
their history and another perspective.
Yeah. And like it is something where it's like they are like the Muslim cultures it does not to say it does have it has a suffering kind of not suffering but it's like it has the reputation is not good over here so it's like it's nice to get a better like I it's nice to see some positive reputation I guess you could say like
Yeah.
in a very popular media of course because like you know there's lots of like they the popular cult they have you know again it's just something I am not um well versed in, but I
Mm-hmm.
appreciate being able to get to see this
Yeah.
in a light that I haven't gotten to see before in a while.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
and and I like Kamala. She's a great character, a great character. I really like her, and she's a good hero. And her family too. Like I like her family. In
Mm-hmm.
fact, that was the thing. I was almost enjoying this more for the family drama than I was the
Yes.
superhero stuff. Like,
Yeah, I you said it perfectly. That I couldn't quite put it into words, but yeah, I my favorite scenes were the ones with her family, and there was just something about her mother. Her mother was so compelling, like um, the character and like the actress. Like I just
yeah,
she was such a wonderful actress, and
mhm,
yeah, the
yeah. It's like
family dynamic. The brother was hilarious. The
her
father who was
dad.
trying so hard.
Yeah.
It was
It was
just yeah.
yeah, and it was yeah, it was just like it's one of those things where like sometimes you know like you know like the kid wants to like be free, be rebellious or something like that. And it's like I get the kid's side of things, but I also get the parents' side of things too because
Mm-hmm.
it's just like it's very like you know she's very like she can't be overbearing, but it's one of those things like yeah, but it is still dangerous for you out there. Like you know there's still like wild dangers. Plus you know Marvel dangers. There's like world galaxy alien events that go on every once in a while. So who knows what could happen to you? You just
Mm-hmm.
wonder.
Yep. Um, uh, it still exists today. Pakistan versus India is a hot point in geopolitics. I did not know that. Um, the first cosplay her mom made, the Hulk. Oh, I know that was so cute.
Yeah.
Like this is appropriate. It covers everything. It's not skin tight. And I love
Yeah,
how the
and
dad did the face paint.
yep. Ah, yeah. I don't know what you said. And her friends too. Like I like her friends. Her like Bruno and was it Natia or Nakia? Natia. I think it was Natia. Yeah. Um, her school friends basically. And I like
Mm-hmm.
how again like she goes from being dorky early on to getting really confident once she gets her powers or something. When she's just like
Mm-hmm.
and and yeah, I like the trainings too, where like she has to like learn how to get used to her powers or something like that. And oh yeah, so okay, so here's a thing about Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel. She's slightly different from or not slightly. She's very different from her comic characters. Not
Mm-hmm.
character, but like her comic powers per se or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So um okay, this is kind of a like spoiler, not really spoiler, but like the end of the show reveals that her power isn't from the little bangle thing. It's not. It's actually like coming from inside her, which they reveal to be a mutation.
Mm-hmm.
Now that leads into which is probably like hinting very strongly that she is one of the first mutants, which mutants are leading to X-Men, which are basically like people who evolve and gain like powers
Mm-hmm.
randomly or something. It's like just this suddenly like a sudden evolution that gives you a random power or something. Um, and and their powers here are the kind of hard light holographic kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas original comic her is just her super stretchy and can make herself like really can enhance like enlarge parts of her like her hands or other parts of her body, stretch
Mm-hmm.
her feet out and such. Um, that like that's her and so she's a mutant in the MCU, but in the comics, in the original story, she's an Inhuman, and Inhumans are well, so much history. It's like Inhumans are basically, I think they're alien enhanced. There's like a piece of DNA implanted in the humans that grew and can, if you go through this kind of like um, uh, evolution, and not evolution's like it's pterogenesis, which you go through this kind of metamorphosis that evolves you into, it gives you your powers. So basically, like Inhumans are alien made superheroes, whereas mutants are evolutionally born superheroes, sort of thing. It's almost the same thing, but it's like two different origins. And so yeah, Kamala in the comics had this alien Inhuman DNA or something that allowed her to become an Inhuman through an accident or something. Kind of the same thing that happened here. It was like an accident where she got her powers. So, so yeah, her powers here are different than the original comics. So
Mm-hmm.
she's got these, but I kind of like the creativity they've given with her new powers here versus what she probably had in the original stories. And I even hear that she was originally going to be a mutant in the comics, but because they were like, okay, we have too many mutants, make her an Inhuman. Like, just make her something. Like, let's put her into the different categories. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, but so it's yeah, it's kind of yeah, it is interesting. I do, but I like kind of what they're doing with her in this, and yeah, and yeah, she's a big fan of Miss Marvel or Captain Marvel,
Mm-hmm.
and she's like, you did not watch the after credits.
And I don't understand because all I did was I sat there, I just hit the fast forward button slowly and nothing came up.
On the last episode.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, there was a clip immediately after, but so I assumed it was part of the episode unless that was it, where you find out she has the genetic mutation. That's not the
No, that's no. The one that 1 week later moment that is the end of the episode.
yeah.
But there is a moment after the credits which, um, yeah, I don't know how you missed that, but it's where something happens to Kamala, and
You can just tell me.
well, okay, so Kamala gets teleported, like she basically swaps places, and in her place Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers takes her place, and now Carol's in her room. And that's gonna lead into the next Marvel movie where Carol and Kamala are gonna meet and work together on something where Kamala's in space
cool.
somewhere, probably.
That's pretty cool.
It's real.
Marvel and Miss Marvel.
Yeah, that's the Miss. Yeah, the Marvels is the next movie for those two. So I'm actually really excited though because I loved Kamala. I'm so excited to see what they do with her in a movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that was something that I thought when I was watching this. I was like, this was worthy of a movie. Like, I was surprised they didn't go in that direction, but if they're gonna make one anyway, that's cool.
Yeah, I think because now they have the freedom of making TV shows.
Yeah.
That they, instead of going like, okay, maybe because like, this did feel like a movie stretched out
Mm-hmm.
a little bit. It felt like yeah, like one story and such, and
I guess they were able to tell more this way. Like they probably would have left out a lot of the history if they had done it as a movie. So
yeah, there was a lot. There was a lot that I was that happened in this show that I don't was much better. I think this is one of the better shows that was paced out because of its extended runtime with being a TV show. Like some shows I think would have been better shorter. Some shows I think needed more time, or sometimes the show being a movie needed more time. So yeah, but this I think was just right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and um, trying to. I don't. Yeah, I don't really have a whole lot to say because other than I just really enjoyed it and I had a lot of. It was a lot of fun
Mm-hmm.
and I liked all the characters, and I'm just really excited to see what they do next with her.
Mm-hmm.
um, uh, is there anything? What else? What else?
Oh, well, let's see. I really enjoyed the music. I have to take the time to like look it up, and I want to see who the artists are, the names of the songs and things like that. But I loved how they brought in
Yeah,
music like from their culture. Um,
yeah.
uh, so I really enjoyed that.
Oh, yeah. The villains or the antagonists or something, basically like the Kamala's grandma's friends or some basically the people that are attacking her. So then we have the red daggers, like all that. Like, I am not familiar with any of that at all myself. So
Yeah, I'll
I
admit that that aspect of it confused me a little
yeah.
bit. Like I couldn't sit here and explain it to anybody. Like it was a little
um,
it was a lot of this they're bad, but no they're good and they're bad, but
they're
like it was.
they're like I do like though. There's like there are they're multiverse people, or rather, they were kicked out of their universe,
Mhm.
exiled basically, and
Okay.
because of their ability to, I guess, live longer and such, like they're almost immortal or something, they were um able to. They're kind of like it got ingrained in the culture. They were kind of had like legends and stories named after them,
Mhm.
um, and because but I do like how Aisha, the grandmother, she how she was able to she I really like that episode, like in the flashback episode we go into the past and everything, where we get the where she meets the grandfather, uh and they get together, and then they have their child, which is their grandmother.
Mhm.
And of course, because her friends who really want to go back home, we don't, or like at any cost, even at the sacrifice of the world, because I guess that's kind of what I think was at risk, was basically like if they allowed their world to overtake our world, sort of a thing, and that's what they had to. That was the things that were at stake.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, I enjoyed their love story. Um
yeah,
I know his name was Hassan. I don't remember what her name was. Um
I think I think it was Aisha, or at least yeah,
oh. Um I enjoyed
or it was the
their little love story, and um I love what I think it was him who originally said it. What you seek is seeking you.
seeking you. Yeah,
I love that. I like that because
yeah.
I like it because
I,
it ties into like when you're
it ties into everything. It comes full circle,
yeah, yeah. Um,
and
but even like for your own like your own personal life, like there's something that you want. Think of it like what you seek is seeking you. So
yeah,
go. Not to sound all
go,
hippy dippy, but I really like that.
yeah,
Like that's a quote that I'm gonna like carry with me and say to
yeah.
myself.
It's a nice one.
But yeah, I liked how it tied everything together, like
Yeah,
what was on the bracelet,
and
and um,
yeah, and that is, it's not that it confused me, but I am very curious how it's one of those like what magic hippy dippy stuff happened so Kamala time traveled back into the like past to be able to basically kind of make the story that everyone was telling. So it's kind of like she never changed the past. She just was the
she
past.
was
It
part of
just
it.
finally
Yeah,
happened. Yeah,
yeah, I like how they did that.
yeah, it was really cool. Yeah, she was able to help her grandmother. She was able to guide her grandmother back to their father and everything like that's kind of all, which was really cool. And I do, yeah, like I said, the love story, it was it was short enough, but it was sweet enough to be like, I get it. I'm already on board with you two and such, and I really like them. And again, it's really kind of sad how it did like how it ended.
It was
Something like
so
that.
sad. And they
Well,
they,
because of
they killed her. The
yeah.
I guess she was the great grandmother. Um
Mhm. Yeah, I thought
I thought somehow I don't know. I thought somehow maybe she would live, but no.
I thought she was alive, just running away somewhere or stuck somewhere. Like she
Yeah.
was like I didn't think that she was dead. I was actually
Yeah.
that was kind of the shocking part for me.
Yeah.
Um, Again, because I guess
The
they're like
coffee
some
addict.
super people or something that's like I'm always shocked when they die.
Mhm.
It's like, oh, okay, that was easy.
Yeah.
But um, yeah, and it's okay because I think from what I'm understanding about Kamala is that her mutation allows her to because the newer the like the dimension or the powers that come from there. Um, Kamala being able to like the Bangle, it didn't give her powers; it unlocked the power within her. So now she was able to use that power, which is the hard light stuff. So
Mhm.
that's what I'm understanding about the whole thing because the newer is a different dimension, and maybe we'll see it one day. But it's
Mhm.
one of those. Yeah, there's just gosh, it's one of those things where it's like we're building our teams right now. We're getting our pieces ready for the next step, which is some group ups or something. We're gonna have the Marvels, and we're gonna have maybe another team. We've got which is again it's like we got multiversal problems right now. So we have the
Mhm.
next Loki thing with and Kang, which is going to be I think our next big bad for the whole team, which is yeah, it's just it's going to be it's going to be something. I
Mhm.
can feel it. And yeah, again, I'm excited because especially because Kamala again, like I love Kate Bishop and I love Kamala. I'm excited to see those two like interact.
Everybody
Hopefully they
together,
get to
yeah.
have some spend some time together.
Mhm.
They they seem really alike, and it's just one of those like, yeah, yeah, you're fun, you're cool.
Yeah.
And Spider-Man too, because even though they don't know Peter Parker, that's still cool to see Spider-Man interact with these characters
Mhm.
as well. And yeah, oh yeah, speaking of so the police force or the people that were trying to get the enhanced humans or something like that, that was the guy that like was um interrogating Spider-Man in No Way Home. And
Oh, okay.
yeah, and so he he's basically like I mean he's very anti supers.
Mhm.
But he's also it feel I do like that he's not willing to go or it's more I guess it's about the reputation, but also it's like he's not willing to go as far as what as the other one her as
Mhm.
she did where she was willing to basically attack the kids on the school or something.
That that whole scene was I mean,
It was
they had to put a warning at the beginning of the episode. Like they
yeah, it
I,
was
I don't like
they did make it Scooby Doo though. They did have like the whole like kind of make it a little bit silly with the
well, yeah, I mean, yeah, they did a good job balancing it. Like they did try to make it like humorous and outsmarted them, to a degree. So they did a good job like balancing it, but at the same time, like I realize you want to tell your story, you got to tell your story, but at the same time, I kind of feel like it was in poor taste. Like, not just in spite of what happened recently, but what is happening in our country for
yeah.
decades now. It, it was just, I just kind of thought it was in poor taste, and they could have done it differently. I
Mhm.
don't know. I would say, like, that was my one critique. Um,
Yeah, I think the moment that I think was more or not more like more I think the moment of the warning was I think when they were attacking Kamran and Kamala when they both had to like when all the officers were attacking them or something like that. I think.
I think it was the whole scene, like from start to
Yeah.
finish, because especially because of what happened a few months ago.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
I don't want to trigger anyone, so I won't go into it, but I feel like the whole thing from start to finish, there were elements of especially what happened, a few months ago. So I think the whole thing was just,
Yeah.
but in
I get
general,
it.
I
I
think
get you.
they should have, just because of what's been going on in our country, they probably, if it just shows a different building,
Yeah.
it would have just been a little, I don't know. Avoid school, yeah, because it was a school.
Trying to think. What else?
I did not notice that the cosplay convention was at the camp where Captain America got trained. I did not realize that.
It was? It was that, like...
That's what Mixie said.
Wait, let me read that real quick. Captain... Wait, his, Oh. I thought it was, Yeah, and yeah, I will say that was a fun scene though. The whole convention where we got to see, like, arguably, like, it's like a normal con, but it's about heroes that are real in their world.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like we got, like,
Yeah, that was kind of cool.
Iron Man, like rest in peace, like Tony, Nat, and all the others that have died, and
Mm-hmm.
like America's ass T-shirt, like cups.
I did not notice that.
Yeah, I was like, it's one of those. It's like, I relate to this because it's like, that's so cool that there's all this convention stuff, because there would be, but it's also kind of funny how it's like, this is, so it's like there's these heroes that the convention's about.
Mm-hmm.
Just it's really cool, and I really enjoyed the show. It's one of the like few that I'd say because I will say this, it's like, I like rewatching the movies. Rewatching the shows is a bit harder for me because they're a lot longer, so it's more of a commitment thing. But I will say this one and Hawkeye were like one of the two that I would enjoy rewatching.
Yeah.
Like, easily.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see what else. I'm trying to think. And yeah, no, it's pretty much it. Like, it was a nice, simple story that well, not simple, but it was like, it was a nice story with a lot of elements that I'm very much appreciating. Very, very, very excited to see what they do with this character in the future.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely left me wanting more. The part where she left her bike and asked if it would still be there cracked me up. Oh my gosh, I thought the same thing. I was like, no.
Yeah.
Like, I'm from New York and I can tell you it's not going to be there.
It's like, a lot of these, I like the first episode where it was like very, we got like a very, like, drawings, or like Kamala's imagination. Like, okay, here's the plan. We're gonna do this. We're gonna jump off the bus. We're gonna fly. We're gonna get on, and we're gonna be back before my family knows I left.
And we all know that they're going to be awake waiting for her. Wouldn't be there in Austin either. Yeah, I guess any city. Not going to happen.
I did love. I was like, the very beginning, was like, like the grandma. She's like, when my dog ran away and I found him, I got him microchipped. And it's just like, she's my daughter. If it was legal, I would do it. But...
Yes.
And I was like, you could just, check your phone. It's like, why am I just hearing about this now?
Mm-hmm.
I love the mom.
Oh, she's
I will say,
adorable.
I will say, I'm a little shocked at how supportive the mom is now. Like, how she's like, yeah, go out and fight crime or something. Like you're a hero.
I
Just like, dang, that's a big leap from
mhm.
what you were saying in the first episode.
I love how she was the one who gave her Kamala her
Yeah, her
um
costume.
yeah. That just like warmed my
Yeah,
heart.
yeah. I was like, that was such a good scene because I was like, I was always wondering like, how does she get her costume? Where does it come from? I thought it was gonna be maybe it was something like a combo of what the Red Daggers gave her and
Mhm.
something, which it is kind of that, but it's like
Yeah.
this comes from her mom. Like her mom
Mhm.
like had it made for her, and it's like, oh, that's and it's a really nice costume. It's a very simple one, but it's really nice too, and I
Mhm.
like it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that scene in the end with the father got me all choked up,
yeah,
where he in a
learning.
way kind of gives her name.
Yeah,
My
get,
name means Marvel, Miss Marvel,
I have the same name as Carol
Captain
Danvers.
Marvel. Yeah.
Just like I don't know who that is. There are so many superheroes now. It's like what is that? What is
Mhm.
that?
Um, the mom didn't want to let her grow up, and then she did. So the mom was Team Marvel from there out. Yeah. How did you guys feel about the whole online stuff?
You know,
Like,
the TikToks and everything.
I liked how they tied that in,
Yeah,
and it's just so true. Somebody would have been live streaming this and that and talking about, oh, I was
yeah.
there. Oh,
Oh, ice cream pizza. It's
mm-mm.
just like, ah,
Immediately no.
you do you, kid. You do you, kid. Um, let's see, I'm trying to.
And I liked how it was kind of like a gradual build of her learning her powers, and it wasn't until the very end where she just kind of, or she
Yeah,
lets it like kind of encompass her, and she is.
yeah,
I thought that was cool.
she's adapted to. She's now become. She's gotten the hang of it,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, I really again that's what I liked about the training in the earlier episode was we get to see her get the hang of it, and she starts small,
Mm-hmm.
and but I always love that moment when you see the person kind of struggling or having to slowly get the hang of it, and then after a while or by the end they've gotten like they're almost like it's like easy for them.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a skateboarding kind of thing where it's like
Yeah.
you learn to skateboard and then by the end you're like doing all the cool tricks with
Mm-hmm.
ease without even thinking about it. I love that those kind of moments.
Yeah. Her nerd bestie. Oh, I loved him. What was his name? His name
Brian,
Brian. Brian, right. How could I
Bruno,
forget?
Bruno.
Bruno. Bruno. Is it Bruno or Brian?
It's Bruno, but he keeps getting
He
called
calls him
Brian.
Brian. Um, my heart like broke for him because he liked her, and she
Yeah,
was.
she was getting. I was like, Kamala was getting all the boys.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's like this one boy from like school or something. There was this other boy. There's Kamran, and there's It's like, Lord, Kamala's not even trying here. She's
I know, they just find her. It wasn't that easy for me when I was in high school. Like, my gosh. Lucky girl. Um,
I even had the brief moment where we like he picks her up after she escapes from the police or something, and his mom, like Kamran's mom, the villain
mhm.
antagonist, is in the back of the car and just like it's like meet my mom. Hey, meet my mom. And I thought for a second I was like, wait, are they actually cousins? Because like maybe her grandma and this woman are sisters or something.
Oh.
I thought that for a second because I didn't know about the whole newer thing, which again I'm still not 100% sure on it. But yeah, but for half a second, she even has things like, wait, are we actually cousins? And that wasn't like a lie that I told my brother earlier to make it not look weird back then. It's like, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it was a good show.
yeah. And yeah, so yeah, there's like so many little details that I'm trying to like remember, but it's like I can't. There's just so much that happened.
It was a lot. It's
It's
6 hours worth
yeah,
of information.
yeah. This is
Um,
we're talking about a whole show instead of individual episodes,
mm-hmm.
which is a lot to remember. But yeah,
I would give it more than a 7 out of 10. I would give it. I'm torn between a 9 and a 9.5. I'll say 9 out of 10.
I'm definitely in the like 8.5. Yeah, this is definitely um again, it was good for what it was, but it didn't like blow me away or anything. Like it didn't like surprise me, but I still really enjoyed what it gave me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, yeah. And the next Marvel show is She-Hulk.
I've heard it was
which
good.
has just come out. Huh?
I said I've heard it was good.
Yeah, first episode was. I think you're gonna like the first episode.
What's that?
I think you're gonna like the first episode.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we will. And I wonder if it's gonna end before Andor comes out. So we might have time for it, maybe.
All right, we'll see.
And yeah, Andor is gonna have like 3 episodes at once, so that's a lot. You have like a 3-hour, 2-hour movie.
Yeah.
To talk about.
Jeez. Yep.
Uh,
All right. Well, I guess that is it. Yeah. Overall, good show. So.
Yep.
All right.
Thank
well.
you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And,
sure. Now I'm getting an error message at the end. Well, that's all right. We're finishing up. So. Yeah. Thank you all for watching, and yeah, we will catch you all in the next stream.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone. Bye, MXC. Thanks for hanging out. Bye, Lucifer.